Good afternoon, one and all present here. Today, I, Monica Gulia, on behalf of Geeta Ratan International Business School, welcome you all for the lecture on living with human values and ethics, issues and challenges of academic session 2020-21. Geeta Ratan International Business School was established in the year 2004. Gibbs is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi and is approved by All India Council for Technical Education, Ministry of HRD, and Government of India for technical courses and Bar Council of India for law courses. The institute is accredited as Category A by National Assessment and Accreditation Council and is assessed as a Category A+ by State Fee Regulatory Committee, which is a fee committee of Government of NCT of Delhi, and rated highest grading A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGSIP University. The institute has been graded Grade A by Academic Audit Cell of GGSIP University consecutively from past 5 years. Gibbs has also been rated number 2 by Times B School Survey 2018. The institute conducts postgraduate courses of MBA first and second shift, MBA International Business, and undergraduate courses of BBA first and second shift, BBA LLB, and BA LLB. Gibbs, with its fervour and blessings of its well-wishers, have come a long way as a school of excellence in the field of professional education. At Gibbs, thrust is on overall personality development of the students so that they can face the challenges in their competitive professional life with value-based approach. Apart from providing quality education, emphasis is on to develop leadership qualities, risk-taking abilities, and decision-making skills right from the beginning of their professional education. Going by this agenda, the institute conducts eminent lecture series on regular basis. And today's lecture on living with human values and ethics, issues and challenges is a sequel to the aforementioned objectives. Values and ethics are important not only in business but in all aspects of life because it is the vital part and the foundation on which the society is built. A business or a society that lacks in ethical principles is bound to fail sooner or later. So students at BBA level are required to understand the concept of human values and ethics. The purpose of this lecture is to make students understand about human values and ethics and their importance in life. The present generation of students, as has been observed, are hyperactive. Aggressiveness is there all around in their behavior, be it road rage, teacher-student relationship, parent-child relationship, etc. An ideal and apposite tool to counter this growing menace among the present generation is the development of human values and ethics. So, therefore, this lecture is conducted keeping in mind some objectives, and those are to inculcate the human values among the students, to understand various issues and challenges which are related to human values and ethics, so, in order to fulfill our intent of inculcating such expertise in the students, we have our eminent speaker with us, Dr. Balwinder Nongrum Bedi. Dr. Bedi had been Dean and Professor at Swami Vivekanand Subharti University, Meerut, at Subharti Institute of Management and Commerce. She has a total experience of 9.5 years in teaching and 8 years of rich corporate experience. She has also worked with Kalka Group of Institutions, Kite Group of Institutions Meerut as director. She had also worked with other reputed institutions like Jasser Business School Modinagar, Bharat Institute of Technology, CCS University Meerut, etc. Dr. Bedi has completed her PhD in International Studies from Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi during 2001 to 4. She also completed her MPhil in International Studies from JNU itself, New Delhi, and It was done during 1994 to 1996. She has a vast research publication work in various reputed national and international journals. We are privileged to have you with us, ma'am. Now, without taking much of your time, I would like to request our speakers to take this session forward. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to thank Hoti sir for giving me this opportunity today. In spite of the fact that I've been down with viral, I think Hoti sir's request cannot be, put down. So I would not take much of the time because it had to start at 3 o'clock. 5 minutes have passed by. I would like to start immediately, if you permit.
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Yes, thank you, sir. Now, when we talk of value education, my children, what do you understand when we say values? I think it is an English word which most of us just attach it. Okay, it is a system of education. When we convert it into Hindi, we would say sanskar. Now, my question, or rather your question, would be संस्कार तो हमारे अंदर कूट कूट के भरे हुए हैं, फिर सीखने की क्या जरूरत है, right? If you ask yourself, you will get this question at the right outset. However, if you go through the first slide, you will realize that most of our thinking process is rather governed by what we see around us and whatever that attracts us. Most of it from the West, right? It was earlier thought that nation building can be done only through socio political, liberal, material ideologies, but it is not a fact. Because of this thought process, there is a crisis in the value system in all walks of our life. Let it be personal, social, professional, national, all walks of life, and at various levels of our living. For example, at our own end, we live as a unit in the family. Even there is a crisis. We are part of in the society. Even there, we face the same problem. Our existence with nature, even that comes under crisis. So I'm giving you a gist as we proceed further. Yeah, let's go to the next slide. Okay, लैक ऑफ वैल्यू एजुकेशन, संस्कार की कमी होने की वजह से डिग्रेडेशन हमारे हर एस्पेक्ट पे देखी जाती है, राइट? व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ एजुकेशन? द बेसिक पर्पस ऑफ एजुकेशन is to turn ourselves into a good human being. But unfortunately, today the purpose of education is to earn a degree and get a good job and later get a good salary. Now, the question is that the end of the education system that we see? The objective of this value education system basically is to develop in you an insight where you can take your own judgments on the base of values in real situations of life, to be able to decide on what is right and what is wrong. For example, you are students of BBA. You know that you study in a classroom. And when there are no teachers, what do we tend to do? We tend to make a lot of noise, disturbing the other classrooms around. Right? Do we do that? I think we do. Now, it is this value education that gives you an insight of your behavior at that particular point of time when there is no teacher in the classroom. That means it is understood that we should not be disturbing the other classes that are going round. So what we do not make noise, and in fact, we concentrate on the task that is given to us. So it is this value system that will instigate in you and to take the right decisions on what is wrong and what is right for you. You should not be guided by other people. Most of the time, what we do is we have our preconditionings that work on us. You know, our thinking process that has been built from the earlier years that this is right, this is wrong. Sometimes it is very difficult to decide. But if your value education system is correct, I think there is no time that you would make mistakes that you would regret in life at, at any point of time. Next slide, please. Okay, value education deals with what is universally valuable to us. What is valuable to us? If we, if I ask you, what is valuable to you? Some would say my mobile phone. Some would say probably yes, my scooty. Some would say probably my books. But what is valuable to you? What is it that is conducive to making you happy and making others around you happy? You know, value education does not only teach us individual happiness and individual prosperity, but it teaches us collective happiness and collective prosperity in a sustained way. Now, if I tell you that, okay, is there any student who loves to be happy for 10 minutes and then sad for another 10 minutes, and alternate way, this goes on for 1 hour? I don't think anybody would say, no, I do not want to be happy. You want to be happy, and you want to be happy in continuity. You want that happiness to be there for you in a sustained way. Same is with prosperity. Now, the word prosperity here has a very, very deep meaning. It does not go only with the materialistic aspects of our lives. Okay? If we take it in literal terms, prosperity means only wealth that you have with you. But no, we do not talk about wealth here. It is beyond that. As we go along the slides, we'll go into greater details. Next slide, please. What is the need for value education? Why is it that the government of India today is trying to reach value education not only at university levels but also at school levels? Reason, because of degradation of our ways of life, right? Now, the first need for value education is the correct aspirations of life. Every human being wants to be happy, wants to be prosperous. And you do not want it only for a short term, but you want it immediate and for the long term, right? But before you invest your energies to know exactly what you want, you have to find out what is it that you actually want in life. For example, if I ask you a question, what would you do after completing your BBA? Some of you would say MBA. Why MBA? Because you need a good job, a good salary package, because only that salary package would make you happy, your family around you happy, nothing beyond that. On the other side, if we see why do we earn so many degrees, it is not only to earn your living, but also to make you a good human being, a good human being who is of use to others. Now, if what is the point of collecting so many degrees if that degree cannot be put to use for helping other people? Excuse me for my voice because I'm down with viral. I would be coughing in between. Yeah. Just identify your aspirations first. We need to know where we are going. We actually tend to, you know, take our dreams forward as per our beliefs that, okay, if you become a doctor or an engineer, that means you have respect, you have money, and you have everything else. Second, preconditioning that our parents are IAS or IPS. That means it is preconditioned that, okay, my parents are IPS or IAS, so I have to be one of them. But now, is it something that you want to be? Okay, that is question. So you should not go by what people believe is right or wrong. You should be able to decide for yourself what is right, what is wrong for you. Don't go up by what people say or by what people believe or what are preconditionings. Preconditionings are like, somebody coaxing you every time, अरे मेरा राजा बेटा ये तो डॉक्टर बनेगा. Every second day you hear that sentence at home. That is a kind of preconditioning. In a way, indirectly coaxing you to become that identity. But is it something that you want to be? I will not say yes or no in any way because I'm not here to propagate to you what is right and what is wrong. I have to just instigate in you that sense that you are able to decide for yourself. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, what are values and why are they important in our lives? Values become important as they are our source of happiness, our success, and our fulfillment. Now, do you touch your parents' feet when you move out of the house? Some of us do, right? And when somebody visits our home, what do? We fold our hands and greet them namaste. Why do we do it? Because we have seen our elders doing that. Since the time we were very small, we've seen our parents touching their parents' feet to get their blessings. So what do we do? To become an acha bacha, what do? We do the same thing because we've seen our parents doing that. Most of the time, we see what we learn. That is why we say that elders at home normally behave in a very value based system so that our younger generation also sees that and behave in that desired manner. Now, value education, the importance of value education is that it removes any kind of confusions or contradictions that could bring any kind of disparity in our living at various levels of our existence. Okay. For example, there's a confusion. We say, "Arey chori karna galat hai," right? Stealing is a wrong thing. We should not steal. But if we ask a thief, is it wrong to steal? He would say no. Why no? Because it is because of the stealing that he is able to sustain his family. So, according to him, that is for him a profession. It is not wrong for him. But at our end, if we see that, it is wrong for us, right? So, if a thief would have got value education, probably he would be able to realize what is right, whether stealing is right or wrong. We cannot say that it is wrong. We cannot say it is right. It is for the person to decide on what is wrong and what is right. And that is what we are going to learn in our class today. The present education system that we have, for example, we have a subject, we have a curriculum, we have various units in it, we have all the technology involved, where science and technology is involved. We have all the ways and means, but nowhere in these books it is shown or written how this particular education can be made more valuable to other human beings. That means our education is skill based. It teaches you more on what the skills can be, and with those skills what you can form. For example, if you touch two wires together, you can light a house. Okay, you can have a bulb illuminated. Whereas if your value system is not correct, maybe you can use the same wires to come up with a tiffin bomb where you can bring in explosions in the society, right? So the technology is the same. It is how you use it. That is the education, value based education. That means to utilize our education for the benefit of humanity. That is value education. If the value education system is combined with skill, it can be more valuable to human society. Whereas if it is only skill based, then I think it could come up to the utter destruction of the entire society and the world at large. Why do we have world wars? Reason, because today we have so much of technologies. We have so many kinds of missiles. We have all kinds of bombers. We have all kinds of planes. We have submarines, everything possible. But can these things, can these technologies not be used for better purpose? For example, to generate more electricity for a nation. But no, because we are more strong on skills and lesser on value education. So what we do is we use the same for destructive purposes. Thus, we have to see that our values and skills go hand in hand so that we use our skills and values for the benefit of our society at large. Next slide, please. Okay. What are the basic guidelines for value education? First of all, it should be universal in nature. That means it should be acceptable to every human being on earth. I don't say India, I say earth. For example, we take one uh, aspect, respect. Okay, we say respect. Respect is a universal aspect. Everybody loves to be respected, irrespective of caste, creed, even if he's a Pakistani, if he's an Indian, or if he's a French person or anybody. Respect is something everybody loves to get, right? That means we take it, we assume it, and we accept it that this value, that is of respect, is universally acceptable to everybody. Okay. The second thing is that it should be naturally acceptable to all human beings. Obviously, when I took one case study that is of respect. First of all, respect is something which everybody wants, everybody, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, age, everything. It is naturally acceptable to all human beings. That means I love to be respected, even others love to be respected. That means if I love to be respected, I should not disrespect others, right? It should, and it is the same with other human beings again. That means they love to be respected, so they should not be disrespectful. If this is followed, I think we have a very, very respectful society. Third point, that it should be all encompassing. You know, we as human beings, we live at 5 levels of existence. First of all, at the level of individual. Second, we are a unit in a family. The immediate family that we have, our parents, our brothers and sisters, our elders, our youngers, we all together form one unit that is a family, and we are one unit in that family. That is the second level. The third level is the society. That means each family lives in accordance with societal norms and forms of society. That means whatever values we have, the value system has to trickle down not only from the individual, but from the family to the society to the nature and the nature at large. Okay? When the value system is intact, we promote harmony. What is harmony? Harmony is to be able to live in peace within yourself and with others. For example, I, as a human being, I love to be respected. That means when I love to be respected, I need to respect other members in my family. If I do that, I get in the same way reciprocal behavior. When the entire family is respectful, the society will be respectful to you. Okay? It is reciprocal. So we cannot command respect. We have to give it first. And when we give it, we get it also. Next slide, please. The content of value education. First thing that you need to know is to know yourself first. When I know myself, I know my aspirations, my happiness, my goals, then there is harmony at all levels of my living. For example, I talk about myself personally. I am a human being first, a daughter of my family, a daughter in law of another family, wife of a person, a mother of a child, and a teacher to many students in my college. Right? So I need to know what are my aspirations. My aspirations are to be in the state of happiness and prosperity, that too in continuity. And that is what I want people around me to also be in that state of happiness and prosperity. And if that is what I achieve, that means I live in harmony at all my levels of existence within that is my existence as an individual. Because if there is harmony within myself, then there are no confusions. I think I'll elaborate a little more, though there is less time, on harmony within myself. Most of the time, the confusions, the contradictions that we see outside around us are the contradictions that are already there within us because of lack of clarity, a presence of confusions, contradictions. So, because of that, we see things around us in that particular manner, right? So, what we need to do is we need to clean ourselves first. Do we take a bath every day? We do. Winters once, summers maybe twice or thrice. The more time we get, the more number it increases. But do we ever take time out to do our internal cleaning? What feelings are there within us which are right, and what feelings are there which are not right and which are harmful to us? We do not take that time out because for us, what has happened is our external appearance is our entire personality. Tall height, good looks, long hair, beautiful eyes, all these things put together, that forms a personality. No, there is much more beyond that. And that is within you, the human being that you are. That is your true personality. So the first thing that we need to learn is when you go home today, sit down, keeping peace within yourself, and see for yourself the kind of feelings that you get within you. Take an example of one single day at a time, the kind of feelings that you get for people around you. Is it feeling of love, feeling of respect, feeling of compassion, feeling of gratitude, or is it just the hunger for materialistic things? Are we sometimes grateful to our parents who have done so much to bring us where we are today? I don't think we've ever spared even 10 minutes to actually talk to them and tell them that yes, it is because of them. Whatever we are today, it is because of them. Have we ever taken out time to, show that gratitude to them? No. We only crib, we complain. हाँ, मेरे पास ये नहीं, मेरे पास वो नहीं, right? That is what we do. So, first, check the feelings that come within you. External cleaning is something we do every day. We do it because it is visible, but internal cleaning has also to be done because that is also visible in your way of life, in your behavior, in your attitude, and in your work that you do. So when there is internal cleansing, there is harmony within you. Your behavior would be uh, very, very different from uh, what you are probably or what you had been. You would be a much better human being, more understanding human being, and a more helpful personality. So, today, when you go home, spare some moments for yourself. Think about yourself. Think about the feelings that come within you, whether they are right, whether they are wrong. And if you see that it is wrong, for example, I get angry at very few petty things. Start losing my temper. Is that desirable? Is it worth getting angry at such petty things? If you think on those lines, I think you will be able to control your anger to a great extent. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, self exploration. This is exactly the previous slide, please. Yeah, self exploration. This is what I was telling you just now that when you go home today, you start looking within yourself. This is exploration. What do we do? Exploration में क्या करते हैं हम? Exploration is something when we go deep within the ground to see what is there, right? That is exactly what we do in human being in the process of self exploration. Now, self exploration uh, is something in the form of a proposal. Take it as a proposal. For example, one element that I took with you was respect. Let us continue with this example only. The example is of respect, and we take it as a proposal. And we verify that proposal whether it is naturally acceptable to us. Now, the question is I love to be respected. That means even others love to be respected, right? That is the proposal is I love to be respected. Others also love to be respected. Is that naturally acceptable? Yes. Nobody wants to be disrespected. That means if it is acceptable to me, that means it is to be implemented on others on the same parameters. Okay. Second, self exploration is basically a process to see what we are today and what we really want to be. What are we today? We are students. We're human beings, we're students. What is it that you really want to be in life? Do you want to just start, you know, earning money through right and wrong process? Or you all want to earn money with respect? Or you want to earn money, respect, and also have peace of mind? So that is really what you need to know. Where you are today, where you are heading. Is that the correct direction where you are heading towards? If this is what you are able to decide, you will never take a wrong path in your life. What we are today, we are human beings. What are the aspirations? My aspirations are to be a good student today, right? Because if I'm sent to Geeta Ratan College today by my parents, that means they have some aspirations in me. Am I actually heading towards fulfilling those aspirations? No, that is what we need to try and study and check whether we are in the correct track. If this is something that you're able to do, then you will not fall into any wrong traps in life. Okay. Now, self exploration is basically a process of self investigation. What is investigation? When there is something wrong that happens, for example, there is a burglary or there is any kind of a crime, what does the police do? They come and do investigation. What are investigations? They try to find out what the crime is all about, what time it happened, how it happened, who did it, why they did it, and what was the motive behind doing that particular thing. That is the duty of the police to do to solve a crime. Whereas self investigation, I've said this before also, that we have to investigate within ourselves to check the kind of feelings that we sometimes have within us. Are they really actually desirable not only to us, but also to the immediate members and other society members connected with us? I think it is a very, very deep process. The moment you get into self-investigation process, you would realize that certain feelings, for example, I take one example, jealousy. This can be in any form. It can be within friends, it can be within a family, among brothers and sisters, with neighbors, anywhere. Now, is it justifiable to have a feeling of jealousy? For example, say I have an Alto car, okay, and that Alto car is not very old, and I can commute to my workplace with that Alto car very comfortably. It protects me from rain, it protects me from sun. Okay. The purpose of having that particular car, that Alto, is for me to reach my college on time and to be able to come back to my family in the evening on time and in a safe manner. If I feel that is my motive behind having a car, I would be very, very happy having that Alto car, and I would be cleaning it and trying to shine all the glasses and the bumpers and everything to make it look more beautiful because I feel satisfied with that particular car. But the situation today is a little different. I know I have an Alto car, but if I see my neighbor owning a BMW, then the next feeling that comes to me is, अरे यार मेरे पड़ोसी ने तो BMW ले ली, हम तो ऑल्टो में ही घूम रहे। अच्छा, 2 महीने रुक जाओ, मैं इससे ऊपर का वेरिएंट लेती हूँ. So this is what is happening. We don't see what is it that we have, what is the purpose why we have that. Does it solve our purpose? If it solves our purpose, then it should bring you happiness. But That jealousy, that okay, neighbor has brought this, so may come kyun, I need to have a better variant of the same. So go into exploration process. All these kinds of feelings would be able to be controlled at your end, and if that is done, then there would be harmony within yourself, and there would be harmony because if I am happy, I can make other members of my family happy. If I am unhappy, if I am dissatisfied, I can never make anybody around me happy or feeling prosperous. I can never do it. So, whatever value education does is it changes an individual within himself or herself first. If you can change yourself, you can change the rest of the society. But if this is only a lecture that you listen and without actually going into deeper into it, then I think it is of no use. Next is the process. It is a process of Swatantrata. There are two, three words which I would not go into details because we do not have much time, but still I'll give you a glimpse of what it means. Swatantrata and Swatva, Swaraj. Swatantrata means whatever decisions I take, whatever thinking process that I am into, that I am in harmony within myself. That means there are no contradictions within me, what I want to do, what I need to do, and what my aspirations are. If that is correct, that means my living at other levels would be harmonious. That is a stage of Swaraj when we are able to live in harmony with other human beings, that is, the family, the society at large. Okay, next slide, please. Uh, in this slide, this just one more thing I would add is that uh, the proposal that we take up in human values, they are universal in nature. I reiterate that they are universally acceptable to all, and it applies to all human beings in terms of time, space, or individual. This I will explain it in a half a sentence. That means, for example, of respect. It applies to all. That means it applies to all male and female that they love to be respected. They love to be respected at all time of the day or night. That means it applies to all time. It applies to all space, wherever we are, whether we are within a family, whether we are outside, within a society, or whether at the level of the individual. That means this value of respect is universal and naturally acceptable to all human beings. And when we uh, live according to this pattern, that means we are able to bring in mutual happiness and also mutual prosperity in our work life. Next slide, please. I think I will have to rush a little. Next slide, please. I've already explained this. Okay. In this slide, the basic aspirations, as I was telling you earlier also, that this is something that is our aspiration, whatever job profile we're looking, or we're looking for educational qualifications, the basic purpose of all these is to attain continuous happiness and prosperity, right? And this is actually a way of life for us. To be a happier person, first you need to not only understand yourself, but also to accept our failures. What sometimes what happens is we get so uh, carried away by our failures that because of our failures, we tend to take steps that are harmful not only for us but for the entire family. Right? For example, when we fail in our examinations, we see even during board examinations, when you read the newspaper, you will see sometimes that there are some stories that are covered by the journalists where we talk about students committing suicides. So this happens only when there is lack of tranquility, lack of peace of mind, because you feel that you failed and it's the end of life. No, failures does not mean that you have to end your life or it is the end of the world. No, if it is a failure, second attempt is always there, right? Second thing, for example, when we write our examinations, we carry farras, no, to cheat. We can cheat, we can get very good marks. But say, for example, if I in my school days would have cheated in my class 10th, say for science subject, even till now, I would remember probably if I would have cheated, then the reason for getting above 90 marks in science was that because I've cheated in that particular subject. So even if you get 90 marks out of 100 in that particular subject, it will not give you that happiness because you know you've attained those marks through cheating. So whatever we attain through our hard work, that gives us happiness because our conscious knows that these marks are attained through cheating, right? Maybe your mark sheet would look more beautiful with such higher marks, but within you, you know yourself that these are not the marks that were actually to be given to you or that you deserved. So when these kind of contradictions are there within us, you can never be happy. But whatever marks you've got it through your hard work. So whenever you look at your mark sheet, you feel that, yes, this is what I did it, right? So I think we need to keep our value system intact, accept our failures. If we fail sometimes, we should not feel that it is the end of the world for us. No, if we've failed, there is a second attempt. We will always win. So that strength within you comes when you have uh, done a little bit of self introspection. You know what you are and you know what you want to be. The moment you are clear with what you want to be, I think more than half of your task is already covered. Next slide, please. I would just go very flipping in a flipping manner about qualities of good people. Optimism. What is optimism? People with positive attitude, right? They're always happy. Positive people, for example, जो भी होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है. If something minor goes wrong in life, we cannot, say अरे मेरी तो किस्मत ही फूटी थी, ये मेरे साथ ही होना था, ये था वो था. That doesn't work. Okay, it happens in life. Sometimes things go wrong, but that is not the end to it. Whatever happens, happens for good. I'll give you one example on this. If you travel on a highway, you realize that our speed is almost 100 or above 100, 120, 140. जहां तक accelerator दबा सकते हैं, we press on it, right? We don't realize that that speed can cause accidents and that positiveness कि इतना road clear है तो आगे कुछ हो नहीं सकता. That sometimes goes wrong. And whenever we see a speed breaker, we put a brake on it. अबे यार इसको बीच में आना था, इसने speed खत्म कर दी मेरी. Now, why don't we take that speed breaker as a positive barrier? Had that speed breaker not have been there, probably you could have met with an accident, right? But thank God that speed breaker is there to keep your speed in control. So we need to first be positive human beings. Second, love. As soon as this word comes, love, no, this is a virtual class, but in daily lecture when we take it, students start laughing. My question is, don't you love yourself? Don't you love your brother? Don't you love your sister? Don't you love your parents? They all love you, right? So this word is not only one tract, it is on every aspect of our life. For example, we love even our dogs and cats that we tame at home. So this is one feeling which everybody loves to be with, and this is something that we can spread. Courage. Fear is the enemy of happiness. In today's life, a fear is not from wild animals or from any kind of disasters. Most of it is from other human beings. This is my observation, because we feel that other people want to harm us. This is the fear within us, most of us. That is why there is lack of courage. Altruism, ego and selfishness. Jahan bhi selfishness hogi, ego hogi, you can never be happy. Spirituality, this is a personal life, but this personal aspect, but this brings peace within ourselves. Next slide, please. Hmm. Okay, a little bit is already done. I'll just complete it in a hurried manner, seeing my clock. Showing appreciation, gratitude. We need to learn to appreciate people from the bottom of our heart. For example, when you go home today, don't get stuck with the mobile games or with PUBGs and Facebooks. Try and spend some time with your parents. Be with your mother. Be with your father. Talk to them from the bottom of your heart. Show them that you're very happy to be with them. That moment is very precious for them, and show them the gratitude that whatever they've done for them, for you all, is something that you are grateful from the depth of your heart. You just see the difference in the relationship that you have from today onwards. That will make a lot of difference, and there will be that kind of bonding between other members of the family and you, that will increase the bonding. Okay, just try it once. Freedom to make choices. For example, if there were no options in life, if there were no choices, I think life would be very depressing, right? Happiness relies on the intellectuals that contain a warehouse of choices. For example, if you were given in your tiffin, if your mother would have given you a tiffin filled with bread butter every day, right from January to December, I think you would not be happy, right? I think you would want a change in your tiffin boxes every day, because your favorite foods every day in tiffin keeps you hungry, and that brings you satisfaction. The other slides have already been touched. I will go to the fifth point, which is important. You can read if you want. Avoid buying happiness through pleasures. This is one point in the slide that I wanted to highlight with you. For example, as soon as we start going to the college, at 12 pass ho gaye, hum to bade ho gaye. We can go in for smoking. Ghar mein nahi pite because we'll be caught. So what we do, we smoke with our friends. We smoke with our friends when we are on the way to college or when the college is over. But is that smoking, that moment of smoking, does that give you happiness? No, that is very temporary. You cannot buy happiness through pleasures. Today, the world has turned topside down because of uh, this point not being clear to most of us. We try to buy happiness through pleasures. But these are all temporary pleasures. They're not happiness. They cannot be sustained For example, alcoholism. We tend to start drinking. कॉलेज में आ गए, फ्रेंड्स के साथ पार्टी में गए, रेव पार्टी हो गई, any kinds of party for that matter. Now, those kinds of parties not only are harmful to you, but I think even your family members would not appreciate your involvement in those activities. But lack of clarity in your thinking process turns you, diverts you into such activities. So please, for God's sake, decide for yourself whether that particular activity that you're doing is something that brings happiness to you, happiness to your family, happiness to the society at large. Most of the people smoke because it gives them pleasure, it opens their eyes. But that smoking not only causes health hazards to that particular individual, but also to the people around whom they smoke and also cause pollution, right? So taken just two examples of smoking and alcoholism. There are so many examples. I wish I had 6 hours. I could have taken this in details, but I think 1 hour is too short a time. Anyways, maybe some other time. Next slide, please. Okay. Happiness is actually a state of mind. It is a state of mind, in a state of liking, that we feel happiness. Sometimes, just think of yourself when you go home from college, you're tired. Instead of sitting on the sofa or on the bed, what we do, we send our bag flying on the bed or on the sofa, and we sit on the bed or on the ground. I used to do this when I was in the college. I used to straight away throw my bag on the sofa and I would sit down on the carpet, in the drawing room, because that is something that would give me happiness, right? So, in this process, what happened was I would feel more comfortable sitting on the ground, on the carpet, than the sofa because I could stretch my legs and, twist myself and sit the way I like because that was the state of mind in which I found happiness. That means be, being in a state of liking is happiness. Sitting on sofa did not give me happiness, but sitting on the ground gave me more happiness. So, what is happiness? It is a state of mind in which I like to be. Okay. What is prosperity? When we talk about prosperity, it means, what is prosperity? As I started the slides, I told you prosperity has much deeper meaning. Prosperity for a layman means a lot of wealth, a lot of money, a lot of you know uh, investments, a number of bungalows, and many other things, all physical facilities. Whatever material things that we collect are part of the uh, material aspect that we talk about in this. However, uh, when we talk about prosperity, it is actually a feeling of having and producing more than required. Okay, ये फोन नहीं उठाया तो हेलो ओके हेलो सो हेलो
Oh, ma'am, is everything
हेलो
okay?
can I just conclude?
Yeah,
Hello.
sure, ma'am.
Yeah, I'd like to take just 2 more minutes. I know it is 4 o'clock. Okay.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Yeah, students. So I would like to conclude. I think my time is over, but I would like you to just focus on two things. Happiness is the state of mind that I want to be in. So if that is the state of mind that I want to be in, I have to ensure that for others also. Second, continuous prosperity. What is prosperity? It is the feeling of having and producing more than what I want. That means if I have something, I have to share it with others because that brings in mutual prosperity. Think back to the barter system, the barter trade system. This is an example of the same barter system that we are talking about. Uh, okay, so to conclude, I would say focus on two things right now. You're very young. One is to attain happiness that is in continuity, prosperity, a feeling of having more than what is required so that we can share with others, and to have the right kind of feelings. What are those right feelings? Whatever feelings are that are naturally acceptable to you as a human being are acceptable to others as well. That means if respect and love, gratitude, all these are valuable to us, that means they're valuable to other individuals as well. Okay, so if we learn to hone ourselves on those lines, we'll be able to improve ourselves. Maybe next time when we have more hours to work upon, we could think about having longer lectures. And I think there is a lot more in this what we can learn. God bless you all. Be good, be happy, and be happy in continuity. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. There was some shortage of time, but thanks for
A
enlightening us
very
with your
short time,
beautiful
1 hour,
insight.
it needs at least minimum 6 hours.
Okay, ma'am. Next time
Thank
we'll
you, ma'am.
take care of that.
Yes, next time.
I'm
Yes,
sure
definitely.
students must have been inspired and enjoyed this session a lot. Thank you
I
so
think
much, ma'am.
let them learn to be happy first. That is the first criteria.
Yes, ma'am.
The rest will come in.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you.